Would you like to learn how you can make $10,000 or more per month working from home with Google? All right, I don't know about you, but I've been seeing a lot of spam comments around the internet talking about people making $10,000+ a month working from home, working for Google or with Google or because of Google or in spite of Google maybe. And I did that catchphrase to be a little misleading, but kind of fun in the fact that you really can make $10,000 a month or more working from home because of Google. Or, if you take this route and Google ends up hiring you, then you'll be doing it with Google or for Google. But this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. This isn't a scam of any kind. The way you would do it is you would learn Google's cloud platform. It's just their version of like the AWS cloud or the Azure cloud, but this is Google's version. And a lot of companies want to be on Google's cloud. They want to move all of their infrastructure, all their servers, all their applications, things like this up to Google's cloud. But not everyone knows how to navigate Google's cloud, or not everyone knows how to do all the tasks and things that would be required to run, a major company or even a small business on Google's cloud. So they're willing to hire people who really know Google Cloud inside and out to come in there and kind of be either a consultant or work directly for them, or work for a consulting firm. And a lot of these jobs, they do pay, $10,000+ per year or per month. So it's a long road. I wouldn't say you could just go do it tomorrow, but it's not the longest road. If you became a Google expert, and maybe you have to get a certification to kind of get your foot in the door, and you'd probably have to learn Terraform, and you may have to know a little bit about Kubernetes. But if you went through and you really, really learned Google's cloud, I mean you mastered it, and there are tools out there that you can use to get there, then these are $100,000 jobs typically. I mean, I've never seen one for less than 120 in my search, and I've done hundreds of interviews, and I keep my finger on the pulse of the economy pretty well, and especially when it comes to cloud technology. And really, you don't need to know everything there is to know about Google's cloud. You really need to understand their core services, their compute services, their networking services, their data offerings, their securities. But the one thing I want to say right now is learn their IAM. With any cloud, if you can master that IAM piece, you are going to master that cloud. That IAM is really what's going to bring it all together. It might not be the most fun to learn at first. It might not be the most glorious thing to learn. You may want to jump into something like data or security or something. But IAM is the key to everything. And pieces aren't going to work right if you don't have that IAM piece right. And Google's IAM is a little different than AWS is, but not that much. There's just some deny and allow things that are a little bit different. But if you mastered Google's cloud, you'd be well on the way to mastering cloud in general. You would have a lot of things that would carry over to other clouds. But it's a great career. You work from home a lot. A lot of the jobs I've seen are work from home jobs. And then, I only apply for work from home jobs. So, that's kind of where I have my finger on. But maybe there's even more if I were to open that up and I was to be in a major, tech hub like Raleigh or Austin or Seattle or something like that. But yeah, you want to make $10,000 a month, you want to work from home, you want to have great benefits, learning and mastering Google's cloud, maybe some supporting technologies, and maybe kind of working your way up that career ladder. You might have to do some other jobs to get you there, to get considered. But once you're considered, if someone's willing to interview you, they're probably willing to give you a job. And recruiters are out there, they're going to help you. They can definitely, say, okay, that one didn't work out, let's try this other one. And eventually someone's going to give you a shot, and you're going to prove yourself through the interview process, I'm sure, and then prove yourself once you get on the job. But if you can master Google's cloud, you're going to be ahead of the game. It's not as popular as AWS, so there's less people that are looking into it, less people getting certified. A certification might be what you have to do to get your foot in the door. But once you master that, and you can prove you master it, you're going to be in one of these high demand situations. And after your first job, you're going to be in even more high demand. Like one or 2 years on the job, then you're going to skyrocket, and you're going to see that salary and these needs, these people wanting cloud engineers in particular explode. And as you learn more things, you can take on new responsibilities. You might learn more about pipelines. You might learn more about Kubernetes. You might get really strong with programming, and then your career is just going to take off from there. So yeah, I was inspired to make this video and just kind of freestyle talk about this subject because I've been seeing spam all over the place. You know, Google pays me $12,000 to work from home, and they're not wrong. I don't think, you know, if you were to click on that link, it would be taking you to some place you'd like to go, but you can make $12,000 a month working from home for Google if you get a job directly with Google. I'm not sure what their remote policy is, but I'm sure they have remote options. But a lot of companies out there who want to use Google's cloud, they want to use Google's services, they'll hire you to help them with that. You're kind of their infrastructure engineer. So they have these application teams, or they have these database teams, or they have whatever the case may be. You're the piece that's going to kind of hold that all together. So you could get into this through support. Support would be a great career entry into this kind of field. So find a company that has Google Cloud and start supporting their products and start supporting their services. And eventually you're just going to prove your knowledge. I mean, I think at this level, let's say you're coming in with no IT experience at all, then getting some Google certifications, they're not that hard. They're not that terrible. They're kind of expensive, but they're not terribly difficult. Google offers training. I don't know how it's priced because I've only ever had corporate accounts on that. But then there's A Cloud Guru. They're pretty good. I'm pretty sure from my experience, A Cloud Guru was enough training and stuff to get a certification. And when you take the test, yeah, you're not going to know everything on the test, but you're going to be good enough to pass. And there's little tricks and things that they do on their tests, but it is not as much of a marathon as some other IT certifications out there, that's for sure. So yeah, I would say master Google's cloud inside and out. Maybe learn to use it with a little bit of Terraform, and you can start applying for these really great jobs that are definitely going to be starting around 120. Again, I don't know what the bait, may have to do some lower end jobs at first, for a year or two to kind of get your foot in the door or whatever the case may be. But if you're already in IT and you grab a cert, you can pop on over to cloud engineering, site reliability engineering, DevOps engineering, and make a pretty good living with Google's cloud platform.